Welcome back, you guys. I am excited for today's video because I have with me the new palette from Lethal Cosmetics. We have the Adventure Time palette, and let's just say it's been an adventure. I already have thoughts, and I've only created one look so far, but I do plan on creating another one. So if you're, looking to be inspired, or maybe you want to hear my thoughts, I don't know, then you're in the right place because we're about to get started. If this is your first time here, my name is Heather, and I really do love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup, which means this launch is right up my freaking alley. But if you happen to love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe, stick around. I would love to see you down below in the comments. If you pick this one up, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it if you've already gotten it in and you've tried it. So this is a massive collection. I do not have my phone on me, so I cannot give prices and all of those things. I can roughly, but I only picked up the collection because the full collection was like $290. That was before shipping and the tariffs, so I knew there was no way I was going to be able to swing that, especially just coming back from the trips and everything. It was just a lot, you know what I mean? So I decided to just pick up the palette. Now I do know the palette retails for $59. I'm pretty sure. I'll have everything linked down below though, in case you want exact numbers and stuff. But by the time I paid shipping and tariffs, I think I paid around $110 for it, which is insane. It's so crazy, but it's obviously not Lethal Cosmetics' fault that the tariff stuff's going on. So also keep in mind, Camera Ready Cosmetics sells Lethal products if you want to get it at a cheaper price. I actually forgot about that and did not remember till I saw someone else write a comment on someone else's video about it. So I'll link them down below too. Now I do know this has sold out on the Lethal site and Camera Ready Cosmetics site, but they are doing a restock. There's a full pre-order open with Lethal Cosmetics. And I also do want to say, Lethal Cosmetics, it was either 30 or 40% of the tariffs they decided to pay for each customer, which is a lot of money, and I do appreciate that they did that. But I'm still trying to support my favorite brands, even though it's a lot, like when they add up, you know what I mean? So as much as I would have loved to pick up the lip products and the blushes and the highlight, I did skip on them for now. But all in all, I am excited that I was able to pick up one of the pieces from this collection. Now, I really love the packaging on this. It's like really squishy and fun. I don't know. Something about it just makes me so happy. So this palette is packed with 24 gorgeous, beautiful shades. We have pastels, deeper shades, and a really good mix of matte to shimmers. I love this ratio a lot. But I am not familiar with the show, so when it comes to references and all of those things, I really can't speak on that. So I will only be speaking on formula and the way it performs. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and move on to look number one. Hopefully the swatches do the palette justice, but let's go ahead and get into it. I am so excited and ready to play with this squishy palette. Oh, I love it so much. It's so beautiful. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint, but I doubt it will. So on the cheeks for blush, I am wearing the DD Signature blush in the shade Lilac Mist. I really, really love this formula a lot. I did get this one in PR, but it's really, really beautiful. And then for highlight, I am wearing the DIEVERUNE Cosmetics Highlight and Drop. I cannot stop using this. The last few times I've done my makeup, I've worn this shade. It is so freaking beautiful. I love it so much. It's so smooth and just reflective. I was downstairs and Amanda was like, oh my god, your cheeks. I'm like, yes, I know. But for lips, I am wearing the Jolie lip liner in the shade Edgy and the Morphe Drip Glass Glaze High Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Beige Bean. So I actually, after I get done filming with this palette, am going to do a full face of Morphe video, and I just really wanted to try this out today. So spoiler alert, so far I really like it. It's beautiful on the lips. So I left my phone notifications on. I turned them down a little, but I'm waiting on a order from Starbucks, so I don't want it to sit outside and melt, because I got the cherry chai latte. I love them so much. So now let's get into the palette. There's so many things that I want to do with this one. This is so beautiful. I really wish I could have picked up more from this collection, but I'm happy that I was able to grab the palette. So I think for today's look, we're gonna stick to this half of the palette. I have lots of fun things planned, so I'm probably only going to be able to do 2 looks with this one, because I do have some other stuff coming up that I need to film with, but I'm excited. I can't wait to see like what the looks look like, what the formula is like, and all of the things, but we're gonna dip in. So what do I want to start with? That's the question. I'm kind of like flying by the seat of my pants with this look, which is fine, you know, but we're gonna dip in. So let's start out with this shade. So I probably will mention this in the intro, but I'm not at all familiar with this show. I have seen it, like the characters and stuff, like randomly throughout the time it's been on, but I've never watched it. So as for like the references and stuff, unfortunately I'm a no-go where that, in that aspect. That's the word I was looking for. But I am using an E06 to pack this on the lid. It is very light. It almost pulls yellow more so than the green, at least to me. I'm taking it around the edge as well. And I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. What do I want to do next, though? That's the question. Let's like do this a little backwards and move on to the lower lash line. We're going to do this shade right here. It is called Gumball Guardian. And I'm just going to use an E04 to put this on the lower lash line. I was excited to pick up this collection simply because I love the Lethal formula. They have done some really good updates, I feel like, especially with the Avatar palettes, the Dexter palettes. Those are the most recent ones that I've picked up, but I think they're freaking fabulous, and they make me super excited. Pretty much just trying to map all this out so I can see how I want to lay everything. Next, I want to work on this shade, Blueberry Cops. I love the undertone of this. It's really pretty. And I'm using another E06 from Singe, and we're just gonna, I picked up the wrong shade. It's alright. I picked up Gumball Guardian, but now let's go into the correct shade. I was gonna say, like, those shades look identical. Let's pin the bangs back. I thought I could do my makeup without them being pinned, but they just get in the way. I just want to work on building this up. Hopefully this will all come together. So what do I want to do next? Let's dip into this shade right here, Cotton Candy Forest. Sounds fun. So I'm doing that on an E08. We have lots of pigmentation, loads of it, and we're gonna just blend this shade out, and then I'll go back in and like re-intensify that blue. But I'm excited to have this. Did I pick up the wrong shade? I did it again. Why do I keep doing that? So let's just take the concealer brush around. I don't know what it is about that Gumball Guardian shade, but it is pulling me in. The squeaky chair is driving me nuts though. Let's switch over to the E25 from Sigma. Go back into that blue shade, Blueberry Cops, and just work on packing this shade on. And I'll work on like that blend in just a moment. I'm just building up this lower lash line a little more, and I think I want to take a E27 from Sigma, and we'll go into this shade here to blend this out a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just had like a rough idea. I just knew that I really wanted to play with this side of the palette first, but don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for the other side too. I feel like that lilac shade isn't really showing up, not on the base that I used today, which I was kind of lazy, and I just used concealer, so we might have to like try it tomorrow with a white base. Let's switch over to this shade though, and I'm going to use this up here to see. Yeah, that one's showing up better. And I'm just using an E03 on this. I need to go back in with the green though and perfect this situation. I'm just using that same E06 that I used the first time and kind of taking that up and over. I do feel like this is pulling more yellow on the eye than what it looks in the pan. Okay, so let's deepen this up a little and try to tie these two, like the top and lower lash line together a little more. So I'm gonna use the E25 from Sigma, and we're gonna go into this deep blue shade here. And she is dark. And I'm just gonna focus some of this out here. And then I'll also use the E07 from Singe to add some of this down here as well. Ooh, I kind of went a little ham there, but we'll blend all that out. Okay, so now I want to do some stuff on the lid because I was sitting here thinking about shimmers and stuff. So one of the shades I want to use is kind of iridescent, so I kind of want to add like an odd pop, but we'll have to see if it's a good idea or not. You never know till you try. So let's do some of this shade, Jelly Horse. And I'm doing that on this like flat brush from Bella Beauty Bar, like She Pigmented. And we're going to do this out here. We'll have to like work on the blend of the two, but so now what should I fade that into? Let's do some of that really light blue. So I'm just cleaning this brush off, and then we're gonna go back into this shade here. And I'm gonna pack that right next to it. Like that blends really nicely. I'll just kind of go back and forth between the shades. Just pick some up on each side of the brush. It doesn't have to be perfect anyways, because like I said, we are going to go over it with shimmers. Then I'm going to use the E01 from Singe, and we're going to go back into that green and just pack this on. It looks a little weird right now. So we're gonna go in with some Shine On. This is the CLIONADH Shine On eyeshadow primer, or glitter glue, you know what I mean. So just put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna like lightly just tap this around. It took a lot of that blue away. I already have some thoughts on this formula I'm excited to share with you though. So let's see, what do I want to do? This shade is really pretty. It's Gumdrop. And that would have went well with, like, if I had not put that purple there, which it's kind of looking pink, is it not? But that would have been really pretty there, and then you could have done like the green or the yellow on the lid, but that's not what I want to go for. I think I want to do this shade here. Like I said, it's more translucent, more just like sparkly. So I'm just going to tap this over that. Like, do you see how pretty that is? It just adds that really fun flip. And then more towards that blue shade. Ooh, I almost picked up the wrong shade. That has been a theme in this freaking look so far. But we're going to just tap that there. Like, come on, that's sickening. It's really pretty. We basically almost created that shade. Now I could do this shade, Candy Castle, which might be what I grab, or Lemon Grab. They are kind of close. This one's like more olivey, I feel like. So we'll do that first one, Candy Castle, the shade. And I'm going to do that on an E01. I'll just clean off the one I've been using. So I'm just using the setting spray from Makeup Forever. And we're just plopping that on the lid. I'm going to do the same thing down here on the lower lash. I feel like I need something here, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to put there, because I really don't, I'm not feeling anything, like excited for anything. So let's just do some of this Gumdrop shade. Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. And this is the eye. I think it's really pretty. I really love this added extra pop there in the center. I think it added a little more fun to the look, but I'm gonna go finish this up off camera. I do have some thoughts so far. Of course, I do have to keep trying the palette. There's no way I'm gonna be able to use all these shades in 2 looks, but I am gonna share some of my early thoughts with you as soon as I come back with the finished look. I am back with the finished look, and I think with the lashes and liner, it really brought this whole look together. I think it's so beautiful. So for liner, I used 3. I did my white liner from ColourPop in the shade Exit through the front part of the waterline, and then I went over it with the Glisten Cosmetics yellow liner, and it adds some brightness, really matches that inner corner shade. But on the outer half, I did the shade Bathwater from Give Beauty. Are they still a brand? Honestly, I don't know. I've heard that they might be like shutting down. I don't know if they have though. Let me know if you guys have heard anything. But for mascara, I used my Lush Lash from Bella Beauty Bar, which I do love this one. It needs to be replaced though, because it's starting to like dry out. I'm at the end of the tube. And for lashes, I did the lashes in the style Adorn from Bright Lashes, which you guys know, they are my absolute favorite, but I really love this pop of pink. I feel like it's very fun, and I honestly just love the way that it came together. I think it's really, really beautiful, but I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on it down below. So for now, my thoughts on this are, I mean, I think this look is stunning. The shimmers are really, really beautiful, but I don't know how crazy I am about the pastels in this palette. So I did just use concealer today, so maybe that's my fault. So tomorrow I'm going to use an eyeshadow primer, one that I know and love and trust, and then we'll see like if it performs better. But I feel like they have a lot of white pigment, which most pastels do, but I feel like they're not pigmented enough in the color, if that makes sense. So like the purple, I feel like you can barely even see, you know what I mean? So I am gonna have to try to use this different ways to see if I can get it to perform better, but you guys will know very soon in the next look if it works out better that time. Some pastel formulas are just a little more finicky and you have to use a little more effort with them than others, so this might just be the case with this one. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see, but I do think this look turned out very, very beautiful, and I'm so excited to be wearing this today. I am back for look number 2, and I'm so ready to get into it. I've been dying to do this all day, but I had adulting to do today, so I'm coming in a little late. So let's start this out with telling you what is on my cheeks. It is the cheek and lip flush from Glaminatrix in the shade Warm. I love this shade so much. I love this formula so much. And for highlight, I used It's About Cosmetics. This is the Breezy Beauty collab, and this is the blush and highlighter palette. I use this shade right here, and it is stunning, and it makes me sad. I actually bought this to review, and before it even got to me, they closed down the brand, so I didn't actually get to review it. It's no longer available. So on the lips, I am wearing Petal from DD Signature. I love this lip liner, and I am wearing the NARS, what is this called? I probably need to... Afterglow Lip Shine in the shade Smooth Talk. I bought this because of Angelica's Best of Beauty video. It was really good, but this formula is so like slippy and beautiful and comfortable on the lips. I love it. And for eye primer, I am using my white primer from Bella Beauty Bar. I want to give these shadows their best chance today. I have a slight headache, so I'm trying to push through because like I said, I've really been wanting to create another look with this palette today. So for mattes, I think I'm gonna do these 2 shades here and then this shade over here. I think that could be really fun. So we're gonna start it out though using the orange. And I'm pretty much going to do that all the way through the crease. So I'm going to use the Singe Beauty E08 and go into that shade Science. It's very pigmented. And we're just going to pack this through the crease all the way across. And I'm just going to work on like building it up. This look is going to be kind of easy. So ever since I've been home from my trip, I've been out of my migraine medicine and I'm switching doctors. So I've had to go without it all week. I'm using the E04 and it's really like taking its toll out on me. I went to the doctor today, thankfully, and they called me in some more, but I wasn't able to pick it up today, so I won't be able to start it until tomorrow night. But I'm just glad that I have access to it again because I've had a headache all week and it sucks so bad. This is building up very nicely. I'm going to switch to the E03 and just keep going into that same shade and work on blending this up higher. And this is working out a lot easier, I feel like, than the time I had yesterday. So it might just not work well with that concealer I was using, which one might say duh, but I usually do use concealer, but that was a different one. It's a newer one to my collection. So now we're going to go into the shade Banana Guard. Love the name. And we're going to build this up here in the inner part. This look, like I said, is going to be relatively easy. I love how bright and beautiful that is. probably need to use a smaller brush down here though. I think I want to take it all the way across underneath and then just go back through and build it up if I need to. Let's use the E03 and go back into that shade and just blend it out around these edges. It's been a long time since I've done this combo, but it's been one of my favorites for a very long time. Now we're going to go into the shade here called Cinnamon Bun, and I'm going to do that with an E27 from Sigma. And I don't know if this is really going to add much of anything, maybe just a different undertone to the look more than anything. It's just bringing in a little more of that neutral vibe. The one thing I wish is that there was one more shade in here to deepen up with that wasn't the blue, because I can't use the blue without muddying up the whole look. And you guys know I love to have like depth in my looks. I'm trying to figure out a way to mix something to get a deeper shade. We could do that. So let's mix the purple, the shade Jelly Horse. It's this shade right here. We're gonna do that. First, let me add some more of that orange back in out here. And then we'll go into Jelly Horse. Like, she's pigmented. I'll go in with this shade first and then go back over it with the orange. And it will deepen up just a tad, just enough. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. And then using the E06, we'll go back in with that orange. See, I got a little bit of depth, but it didn't change the look too much, which is what I was going for. So now we're gonna do the shimmers. And I'm gonna use my glitter glue. This one is the one from CLIONADH, one of my favorites. Just adding some of this to the lid. And then I'm gonna try to figure out what I want to do. But honestly, I think I'm gonna keep this one simple. Okay, so I want to add like a weird pop. Hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. I want to use a little bit of this green shade here. And I want to just add this out here to the outer corner or the outer part of the lid. I thought it could just be something a little extra fun, to add something extra to the look, so it's not like full-on monochromatic. And then we're gonna do the shade Lake Butterscotch. This shade is stunning, so shiny. And I was thinking of Candy Castle, but I don't know, maybe we'll do some of that in the inner corner. But it does feel a bit light. I mean, a bit green, and where I put this green out here, it might not balance right. So I'm adding a little bit of this pink shimmer, Netty, here to add just a little more color to this. I don't know, it didn't feel like it was enough, if that makes sense. But let's see if I can get this to blend. So I'm going in with that orange on the E04. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do a little bit of this green, well, yellow Candy Castle. And unfortunately, oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I put my setting spray away, but I didn't. Yeah, I feel like that made it more fun. Maybe we should have just done that all the way across. Let's just add a layer of it. So now it's just like primarily this shade, Lemongrab, and then that Candy Castle shade. I feel like it made it more fun. Kind of like The Daily Grind by Unearthly Cosmetics, which you know is one of my favorite palettes. Some of my favorite combos. I feel like the look is incomplete, but it's because I need like a brown or something here. But it's still beautiful. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. But I'm gonna go finish this look off camera, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. I might do one eye with the brown in the outer corner and one eye without. That way I can kind of show you guys the difference in like having it and not having it. I am back with the finished look, and I don't know, guys, I think it came together. I did the like darker brown on this side like I said I would, but honestly you really can't tell. I mean, you can a little, but it would have been fine without it, is what I'm saying. So for liner, I used the shade Zero from Urban Decay, and I just decided I wanted to go with a black today. Why not? And I did the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara and the Adorn lashes. I'm pretty sure it's the same ones I did yesterday as well. But all in all, I do think the look turned out really good. Is it like my most creative work? No. But sometimes it's nice to just do something simple and easy. I will say, at least in my monitor right now, the shimmer looks more yellow than green. But honestly, I'm not mad at it. I think it's beautiful. But now it's time for me to share my thoughts on this palette. Oh, and before I do that, I did end up using a little bit of this white in the inner corner, and it's really beautifully pigmented. I was really excited about it. But now for my thoughts on the palette. So I will say I had a lot easier time working with this today than I did yesterday, and I didn't really have a hard time yesterday. I just didn't feel like the lighter shades were adhering to the lid as much as I wanted them to, but I think that was my fault because I didn't use an eyeshadow primer. I was trying to be lazy and I cut corners, and today I used the light pastel yellow and the white, and they both seem to work really, really well on the primer I used today. So just keep that in mind. I will keep using this off camera though. That way I can give you guys a better like review with some of the same shades that I used yesterday. I still have tons of shades left to use in this palette as well, so just stay tuned to hear my thoughts. I did not do my May ranking, my eyeshadow palette ranking, because I was gone and I didn't really get to try a whole lot of palettes last month. So I decided I'm gonna like combine May and June together. So there will be quite a few, but all in all, I really did have so much fun with this one, and I was so excited to get this in my hands. Truly, it did not disappoint. The shimmers are so beautiful, and the only thing I would change about it personally is I wish there was a deeper shade in the palette besides just the blue, but that's just a personal preference kind of thing. I think if you like this color story or you like the theming, you will really enjoy the palette all in all. But you guys are gonna have to let me know which look was your favorite. I cannot wait to hear from you. I'm excited to film tomorrow because tomorrow I'm doing the full face of Morphe, and I think it's gonna be so fun. And I'm gonna do my highlight favorites tomorrow, and I'm excited for that too. But stay tuned for those videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out, and I can't wait to hear from you down below in the comments. But until next time, bye.